Here's the assignment, practice activity for Who Are You? We're going to work on it as a class, but if you're absent or whatnot, here's kind of step-by-step process on how to complete the activity. It is for a grade. So you're going to take a picture like this with a couple of images as well down here. You're going to make it look like this. You're going to use Adobe Photoshop to do so. So before you even get started, you need to find these three objects in Google Images and save them to your computer to use for the assignment. Just real quick, this is University of Boulder, University of Colorado in Boulder. If you go to Google, search University of Colorado, images, and you can see you can use any of these pictures. It doesn't have to be the exact one I used, but here's the one I used right here. So you click on it, right click it, save image to your computer to use for the assignment. Here is the buffalo that we use, so you can click on that one as well, save that, and last do another search for Colorado, you gotta spell it right, Colorado flag, and find a flag on here, same thing, click it, save it, we're going to use it for the activity. Alright, so here we have it. On your computer, open up Photoshop here, I've already done so, and then go to File, and then open up the picture you see on my screen here, wherever you saved it to your computer. And a couple things we're going to do here. We're going to change this picture to black and white. We're going to use the Type tool along with Stroke to label University of Colorado across the top. And then we're going to do Clipping Mask to add within the C and the U for CU, which will be the buffalo and the Colorado flag. So first step is changing it to black and white. So you're going to go up here to Enhance, click it, convert to black and white, very simple. Choose the style that you would like. You can see over here on the right it changes to show you the different black and white images. Just find the one that you like best, select it, hit OK, black and white picture. Next, on the left hand side over here you have this Type tool. You're going to use it to type onto the picture whatever it is you're going to type, but for this activity you just type in University of Colorado. So click it, and it's a little slow here for some reason. There we go. And then you can click on, you can change the fonts up here to anything that you want. So you find a font that you like, gives you the samples over here. I'm just going to use this one for the example. You can change the color here, which for this it needs to be yellow. We're going to do the school colors at University of Colorado in Boulder. And then here's your size, if you want to change the size, but we can resize it afterwards. So click on here, type in University of Colorado. Okay, perfect. Typed it on here. After you've typed it, click on the Select tool or the Move tool here at the top. And now we can just move it wherever we want. Once we've selected that, you can drag it across the screen. You can click on the edges and resize it to make the size you like. And so I am going to put it at the top right here. One of the things too, because I'm kind of a perfectionist, you can always view your rulers. It drops these rulers on the top and down the side, and it shows you how big the picture is. It is 12 inches wide, which means the middle is going to be the 6. So I am going to try to center this up, because that's just kind of how I work. If you want, you can even draw over here on the left hand side this ruler. You click on it, hold it down, pull this out, put a little mark here in the middle showing you where the center is, and it's going to give me a little trouble. It doesn't want to center up, but you can do that. Mark it right there in the middle, and then that helps you put the University of Colorado directly in the center. And then you can drag it off if you want. It won't stay, it won't print with the picture. There we go. All right, next you want a black border around this. So we call that the stroke. So you're going to click on it. Over here on the right hand side, these are your layers. This is the picture. This is the type. You're going to make sure that you've selected the University of Colorado type. Go up here to layer, layer style, style settings, and then on here you can select stroke. You'll notice it adds this little black stroke around the edge of the typing. Now you can change the color if you wanted to right here, and the size of your stroke here. So you can drag it, make it thicker. That's too much. I'm going to leave it at 3. That's what I want. This is where you can also add drop shadows or glow, inner or outer glows to your text, or even a bevel as well. Just a few extra things that you can do. You can kind of play with it if you want, see what you like the best. But for this, I'm just going to use the stroke, and that's it. So I hit OK. Now next, I want to add a bend to the top of this, an arc, to kind of stretch it across the top here. So we're going to click on it, we're going to double click on it, and you'll notice when you do so, it highlights it, and you have at the top this create warped text. So you select it. Now you have numerous options in here. You click on here, it tells you all these other options you have, but for this I'm just going to use the arc, and you can see it stretches it pretty far off the page. Well, we don't want it bent that much. So right here we're going to click it, hold it, drag it. We want it bent just a little bit, but not a ton. So I'm going to set it at about, let's go with 11, 10, 11 there. When I have it ready, I hit OK. Up here at the top, it's asking me if I'm happy with it, if that's how I want it to look. I'm going to click on the check mark. Yes, that's how I want it to look. There it is. So it's off the screen a little bit, so I'm going to go back over here to the Move tool again. Click it, pull it down just a little bit. Once again, I want to center it in the 6 here on the ruler, and there you have it, University of Colorado. So you have used your type tool and used the stroke around the edge. And next we are going to do the clipping mask for our C and our U that we're going to put down here in the bottom somewhere. So we're going to go back to that type tool again. Now for anytime you use a clipping mask, you want to use a wide font so that you can really see the picture through the letter. So we're going to switch it over here, and for the example I'm going to go down here for the font that says Stencil. The sample over here, you can tell it's pretty wide. Select it. Now I'm going to click on the screen again to type my C. So you just put your C on here, that's it. Go back to the Move tool. Let's stretch it out a little bit. Resize it, make it nice and big. Alright, I'm actually going to put it in the bottom left hand corner for the example. I know in the picture it's kind of in the middle, but for this example I'm going to put it right here in the bottom left hand corner. Check mark, yes, that's how we want it. Now you're going to add a layer to this one as well. Make sure over here on the right you've selected the C. Layer, layer style for stroke, style settings, stroke, black border, perfect, okay. So now we need to add our U, and the reason we waited to do our U is because I want it to be the exact same size as my C, so I'm just going to copy and paste it so they're the exact same size. Now we're doing them separate because there's going to be a different picture in each letter. If we did them together and we put a picture in there, it would just, the picture would go into both of the letters. But for this, we want different pictures in each letter. So over here on the right hand side where the C's at, we're going to right click and we're going to go to duplicate layer. Okay, and it asks us what we want to call it. Well, this is going to be our U, so let's just call it U. So there we have that. Hit OK. You'll notice on the side we have our C, we have our U now. So you can't see anything over here because it made a copy, but it made it exactly on top of the C, and right now it's just a C. We're going to have to change it, so we have 2 C's. But we labeled it a U, so we know we have the correct type selected. So we have the U, we're going to click on the U, make sure we have it selected. Use your arrows on the keyboard use the right tool, right arrow, excuse me. Just pull it out a little ways. Now we want to change it to a U because we don't want to have two C's. So you double click on it, change it to a U. There we go, perfect. And then click off of it, it's ready to go. So we got our C and our U, now we just need to add the images that we're going to put in those. So we're going to go up here, we're going to open up the images now. So we go to File, Open, here's our buff, double click it, there it is. Now we need our flag, so we'll go to File, Open, click it, there it is. Alright, so you see the three images we have open. The one we're working on, the two we're going to be using. Double click on them to go back and forth between them. So the first one we're going to use is this CU buff. So we want to select the entire image. So on your keyboard, you're going to hit Control A. You can see it lights up around the edge here. It says, hey, you've selected this entire image. Now we're going to copy it. So we're going to do Control C to copy. Now we're going to click back over to our other, to our image we're working on here, our project we're working on. We're going to paste it onto here. Okay, so to paste it now, we're going to do Control V. And there it is. And we want this to be on our C. Okay, we're going to put this on our C, and you can see over here on the right hand side, it's got all the layers. So you're going to click on it, and we want it to be with our C, so we're going to drag it down just above the C there. Alright, and we're going to select our Move tool. We're going to resize it a little bit. We want it to be smaller. We want it to be small enough to fit in that CU, but where we can still tell what it is. So you're going to drag it over here, and you're going to cover your C with this buffalo. So now you can't even see it. Okay? But now we're going to put it inside that C. And you'll notice again, it's right above the C. We have our buffalo right above the C. So you're going to go up here to Layer again while you have the buffalo selected. Layer, Create Clipping Mask, and there you go. It pops it inside that C. So now you can see the only parts of that buffalo you can see are the ones that sit inside the letter C. You'll notice too, if you click on this thing over here, this buffalo, you can still move it around in there a little bit. So if you're not happy with how it's positioned, you can still move it around a little bit. Now we want to do the same thing with our Colorado flag inside our U. So double click on the flag down here, Control A, Control C, back to our project, Control V, there it is, resize it, okay, and paste it in, and we pasted it way down here, and that's not where we want it. We want it right above this U, so we're going to drag it up after I click check mark saying yes. We're going to drag it up to the top, there it is, drag it over to this U, cover it up, make sure we have the flag selected over here in our layers, and go to Layer, Create Clipping Mask, boom, there it is. C with the C has the buffalo inside it, the U has the Colorado flag inside of it. They both have a stroke around the edge with a clipping mask inside, and we've labeled the picture up here at the top, University of Colorado. You're all done. All right, and the last step is saving it. It's important you save it as a JPEG. So we go to File, Save As, make sure this is changed to JPEG. Call it whatever you want. Hit Save, and you're all done. Now we did work on this as a class, but it's still a grade. So we created a practice on our menu on our website. We created a practice page to post these on so that I can check them and give you the grade. So make sure you do that. Create a new page, call it practice, and upload this picture there, label it Who Am I practice. Stick the picture next to that text. I'll be checking it for grade. If you have any questions, ask me, and I'm happy to help. Thanks a lot.